Alrighty, here we are. We're back, and what we're going to end up doing is we're going to get onto the paint station here, and we're going to get our little setup going here. So let me get my tablet up so I can see what is going on. No, I don't want a software update. Seriously? I just want the YouTube. We'll do software update later. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. So now, we're going to end up doing, you see we've got some beautiful crosses. I got some with a kind of an effed up back on here. That's because we printed them out kind of messed up. This one was a little better. We did a little bit of a better job. And this one is the best because it was printed on the build plate. So we dropped this down below the build plate, whereas these have that little lip on them, which didn't work out at all. So this is the best version, and we saved a little bit of filament on this. So with that being said, I'm going to keep one of these. So we'll start on the worst one, the worst back, because this is going to hang anyway. And we will take off our tape, and what we'll end up doing, since we take this off, and it wasn't too bad. Print time was good, and it worked out well. Especially since the third one, we were able to drop that down and print it flat. There's no reason to have it not be flat, I don't think. And then, yeah, we did some adaptive layer height, so you can see that there. And that turned out really good. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the gray color, or not the gray. On top of the gray primer, we're going to paint a bone color. So I need to come up with a bone color because I don't want to use this, my Army War Painter, because that is so expensive. So I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to get a little bit of that. That's not going to work. You know what? We should take a look at what colors that will make a bone color. We'll ask Grok here. What colors can I mix to make a bone color? So we'll see what Grok says. Mostly white, so we got a white. Small touch of yellow and a tiny touch of brown. Start with white, add drops gradually until it matches aged bone. Avoid excess black or brown. Let's see ratios for mixing bone color. 4 or 5 parts white, 1 part yellow, 1 tiny touch burnt umber or black. Okay. White, yellow, and umber. I think we can do that because with the Arteco paints, we do have, that's sienna. We do have a burnt umber, and then we want to do yellow. We got a mid yellow. So white, yellow, and a touch of brown. So let's go ahead and see what we can do on this. So we're going to try this and see what happens. And then hopefully we'll do it on this one. And then if we get it right, we can put it onto the real one. With that said, one of these is going to go to me. One of these is going to be my daughter's. And I guess we can just go ahead and take the tape off of this as well. And then one is going to go to a game store, a local game store here in Korea, because they need some decoration. Because the walls are pretty bare. And I think they do Warhammer stuff. They do MTG, Magic the Gathering. I'm not into that. But let's close this until we get this. This should turn out pretty good. So they can get some decoration on the wall, be some cool stuff. And we'll see how that goes. The other cool thing I might be able to get a little bit of business out of it. Kind of put me, make a few bucks. Nothing crazy, but just make a few bucks to, get some more filament, print some more stuff out. And yeah, I think that'll work out good. So kind of give some cool stuff away. And then help people enjoy, and then, at least in the store, it should be kind of a cool thing. Have some cool 3D printed decorations. But then, say for example, if you end up having like, what should we say? I guess I forgot to tape that one off. This one I taped. But yeah, I thought it would be kind of cool. So imagine like they do like Warhammer tournaments and things like that. And then I guess they have some pretty cool tournaments where people actually even come from the United States and Europe to Korea to play. I think they had somebody from Denmark. And then, flew in for a weekend, ended up playing, and boom. That was kind of their thing. So to be able to have a prize, maybe something like this, have one in gold for first place, and in silver, and in bronze for second and third. That'd be kind of a neat little thing there. So let us get to mixing and see what we can do. Our water's going to be a little bit out, so we might need some water, maybe. So let's see how that goes. And off to the races. Alrighty, and we will do a little bit of white, and then we'll do a tiny bit of yellow, and then we'll do a tiny bit of same thing, burnt umber. And we'll see if we can get our mixing on. Here it is. So, and then once this is all done, once we paint the skull, then what we'll end up doing is we'll put in some wash on this. I think we can end up doing, we'll do like maybe a Vallejo, kind of like a brown wash, and then we have a dark wash. So we'll give that a shot to kind of age and fill in some areas there. We're just going to get a tiny little bit, kind of get that in there. And I think that'll be kind of cool. And then when it's all done, there's some other things we're going to end up doing. So like on these rivets, what we can end up doing is we can use like I think we can do is put some UV resin on there, coat them, put the UV light so it'll be super smooth, and then we'll paint it with like a high gloss red, like a slaughter red or whatever, to make those like jewels. That'll dry. Then we go back with the UV resin and coat it again, and it'll kind of give like a ruby jewel type of effect. So that's going to be the thing there. Okay. We've got our, we've got a pretty decent color there. So let's just do a little dab of brown. We will mix this in here and see if we can get kind of a bone color, which I think we are doing pretty good. And that's pretty darn close to what we have on this skeleton bone. So I think we did it. Awesome. And let me get some a wet wipe, and we will get this paint off of me. Oh, I just broke my little tool. Oh no. Need to work on that. Let's throw some quick CA glue on that, and we'll let that dry. Ooh. So let that get in there. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll get our little CA activator, and we will fix our little problem there, like so. And boom, we're good to go. Alrighty. So now let us get back and we'll start painting this thing. You know what? I do need another one. And we will get on this. And we're not going to thin this out. We're just going to go ahead and paint this because I want it to be thick. And because we want to get some good coverage on there. Oh yeah, that's going to be nice. That's going to be a good color. We're just going to do this. We might need a couple of coats, but that's okay. And then we'll also dirty it up. I want to make sure I don't get paint in the ferrule. I'm trying to be careful with my brushes. So we're just going to knock this out kind of quick. So we're not going to go for super precise. We just want to try to knock this out quick and get this painted. And while it does have some layer lines, I don't know if you can see that. You got some layer lines. It's not a big deal, and this is printed at 0.2 millimeter layer height. So not bad. I could have painted it at a smaller layer height, but honestly, I don't think it's going to make a difference. Not that big of a difference. Again, this is going to be on a wall. It could be on somebody's desk. I'm going to have it on the wall. And then, you know, I guess I could paint it or print it at 0.16 millimeter, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. if somebody wanted it with less layer lines, of course, if I was going to do it and sell it, then I would charge a little bit more for that because it's less layer lines. So I think this will turn out really good, and especially once we get the wash on there, I think it'll really improve it there that way as well. So why is got a bunch of funky bristles. So this is a cool little print. I'm digging it. And I think it'll look good in the store. And being here in Korea, it's kind of interesting because I live close to a U.S. military base, which is nice. And then most of the people that go to this game store, MTG Tabletop, play Warhammer, Magic the Gathering. They got a lot of Magic the Gathering. And they opened up like 3 weeks ago. So they're starting to get more and more people. And they've got a lot of people who do Magic the Gathering. But they're getting more and more people into Warhammer. I paint Warhammer figures. I haven't played Warhammer, but eventually maybe I will. So we'll see. We will see. If anybody's got any questions, I can. I've got my tablet up, so if you leave some comments, I can answer some questions, or we're just kind of slapping this on here. Good thing is I got a good idea for the paint ratio, so it's not going to be hard to replicate. And then we'll even go back over the teeth, and we might even just we might do the teeth white, and to kind of give it a little bit of contrast. And the other thing, on the dark recesses in the eyes and the nose, we'll put that dark wash on there to kind of bring that stuff out. That'll be pretty cool. So I can see how that'll work out. I think it'll be a cool little print though. I'm digging it already. And then when we do the dark wash on the gold, that'll darken in some areas as well. So it'll kind of have like an aged look. Wouldn't say grim dark, but we'll see how that goes. So this will be a fun little project to do. And then I want to try to get it done so I can take it to the store on Thursday. So that'll be a cool little thing. Good thing is I can just slap this stuff on. It's not like precision painting. And I'm in the market for another printer. So I've got the Creality K2 Plus. I'm looking at getting another printer, but I'm not sure what I want. I've been thinking about getting like the Core 1L from Prusa, but And while Prusa is a great company, the problem is I still think Prusa is like a day late and a dollar short. As far as like ease of use, out of the box, they've got a good assembly videos and unboxing and stuff like that, that's for sure. But like with the camera on that thing, they are still far behind. You know, why can't you just have it already connected and ready to go? And even when it is connected, after you install it, which, yeah, it's a little bit of time. You only got to do it once, so that's not a big deal. But once it's connected, the other problem is if you use the app and you get on your phone and you're away, it'll only give you time-lapse pictures. It won't give you a video. So it's like all other companies, pretty much other companies that have cameras, you can get live video feeds, and Prusa still doesn't do that. So I'm kind of perplexed as to why Prusa is a half step behind, and their slicer isn't as good as you know, as it could be. Let's just put it that way. So maybe I'll just do a tiny bit of water and try to reconstitute some of this so I can finish this up, because it's so close. So that's the thing that's holding me back. It seems like Prusa's almost there. And then the fact that the Prusa Core 1L, the other problem I don't like is that the power switch is on the back, like almost every other printer on the planet does. But in all my years, going back to the early Ender series, I have experience with those at work, when I used to work. No one has ever, I've never heard anybody say, you know what? I really enjoy the fact that the power switch is on the back of the machine. No one has ever said that, ever. So I don't know why companies keep persisting on putting power switches on the back of the machine. I would pay more money for the power switch to be on the front. And especially with Prusa talking about and saying, you know, we want to put these machines in print farms. That's their whole thing, is the big, you know, well, there's going to be a print farm machine. If it's in a print farm and you have to shut down the computer or shut down the machine because of an error or some emergency, you want the power switch to be on the front. That's easily accessible. Why would I want to reach around? Lord forbid there's a fire or electrical hazard and I have to reach around the machine, and yeah, it makes zero sense whatsoever. So again, I'm just not sure why Prusa kind of went that route. So yeah. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. And kind of, I think we got the most that we can get out of this. So that looks pretty good. And once we get some dark wash on this, I think it'll turn out pretty good. So, one down. And we'll do the good one. Let's see. Is my mic on? Yes, my mic is on. Okay. So we will go back and we will do more white. And we can go back and we can do our touch of yellow there. We can do our touch of brown. We can mix that all in there. You should get pretty much the same color again. We're pretty much close to it. Have a little bit of a bony brown skull color type of thing. And I think we're good to go. Alrighty. Let's kind of get this wet. Draw this in here, and we will go. Oh. We got a tiny bit of tape we need to get off of there. And is that a little bit of tape too? Yep, sure is. Okay, now we're good. So let us begin. But yeah, the second printer thing, I think Prusa is so close, but they just need to do a few more things to upgrade their printers. And like I said, the camera is definitely something they need to improve on. It should already come installed, instead of the user having to go through a bunch of hoops to install the camera. We might have to do another layer on here. And then if somebody doesn't want the camera, because I get it, they're security minded, I appreciate that. But if somebody doesn't want the camera, then they should just be able to unplug it instead of making use. That should be the default, that it is hooked up and installed. And then to get a time lapse, I was amazed that to get a time lapse, you have to have an SD card in the camera, take that out, download the individual pictures of the time lapse, put it into an editing software, and make your own time lapse video. And it's like, come on. I mean, even rinky-dink 3D printer companies do time lapses. So yeah. Now, do I use time lapses? No, it's very rare. But if you got a camera, you should be able to access it and use it, and you should have that feature. But the problem is that it's just, if you're away and on the Prusa, cell phone app, the problem is that you can't get live video feed. You can only get like pictures, which is going back to everybody else has moved past technologically, except for Prusa and that. So then you got people that are like, they actually get a separate camera to view their machines as they're printing, because it gives a live feed. And yeah, it shouldn't be that way, and especially for the amount of money that you're paying for a Prusa. And for me in Korea, it's probably going to be about $1,800. So again, I'm a little hesitant into that. And then the other thing that pisses me off, that I don't understand why Prusa doesn't do, is, besides the power switch being in the back, in the camera, what was the other one? It's just on the tip of my tongue. Camera. What is it? Camera. Oh yeah, the wiper nozzle. It doesn't have a wiper nozzle. It doesn't have a wiper so the nozzle can wipe itself, kind of like you have on every other printer out there. Like Bamboo, Creality. My K2 Plus has a nozzle wiper, and yeah, they apparently, yeah, they don't have that. And so in some reviews, when you're color changing, you have people that it'll, because it doesn't wipe the nozzle, it doesn't take the strands of filament off, and so you'll actually get strands of filament on your print if you're doing different colors, and because they don't have a nozzle wiper. And yet Prusa says that the Core 1L is supposed to be for like print farms and blah blah blah. It's like, well, if you're running a print farm, that means a bunch of your prints, you're going to have to go through and take that individual thing off of there, and that's not conducive to print farm. So yeah, it's like, I don't know what's going through Joseph Prusa's mind when, yeah, you don't have a wiper nozzle. But thankfully, you have people that have gone through, made a wiper nozzle, or made a wiper for the nozzle, and then the G code that you can copy and paste and do that. But the thing is, that shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have to do that. So, I don't know, that's just some of the things that's holding me back from getting a Prusa, especially at that price point. So, yeah. That's just kind of a thing that irks me. It vexes me. I'm so vexed. And if you got that reference from Gladiator, then you get a gold star for the day. I think we're going to be close on the filament again. Or not the filament, but the paint. So yeah, those things there are kind of what are holding me back. But then again, they're going to have the Core 1L with the index system from Bondtech. Not that I do a lot of multi-material printing, but it would be nice to have that capability. And we'll see how that goes. But that's not even out for the Core 1L yet, so I don't know. But that's the coolness of the Core 1L, is be able to have that Bondtech. So, I don't know. Decisions, and money. And then the print quality. A lot of people, print quality is good with Prusa, but then Bamboo has really good print quality as well, and it's plug and play. But you're locked into their ecosystem, which I'm kind of like, eh. But I get it. So I'm kind of, I like the larger build area of the Core 1L. But the Bamboo right out of the box works pretty good. So the P2S is tempting. Even though the build plate is smaller, I'd like to have a larger build plate. but I don't want to spend the money to get like an H2D or H2C or whatever it is. Definitely don't want a laser on my printer. Okay, I think we are pretty much good to go on this. It's good enough for government work. So there it is. There's the second one. Now we will move on to the third and final. This one has a jacked up back on it. And I'm thinking about doing a giveaway on one of these as well. So we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, back to our paint mixing. And you know what? I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Because I want to have cleanliness, clean. That's not. Okay, I think we're good. So we will do white. I think that'll be good. So again, that is our titanium white. These are from Arteco paints, which are really good. I'm surprised. They're also way less expensive than Army Painter paints. And I'll just do a little dot there. That'll be okay. A little dot of umber. If you look at the cost per ounce of paint, like Army Painter paints, is like $6, almost $7 an ounce. And Arteco paints are 70 cents. So, yeah, we'll do that. And we'll do some brown. Come on, brown, get on there. And let's just mix this up. Get our bone color again, which is awesome. Alrighty, so yeah, titanium white, yellow mid, and burnt umber, and we are rocking with our bone color. So that's good to know. The other thing I was thinking about doing was getting some more of these dropper bottles and then transferring the Arteco paints into dropper bottles. I think that would be a good thing to do because it's a lot easier to get paint out of the smaller bottles and then leave these for just like the big amounts. So, alrighty. We will get back to the bone. Bone on it. Let's bone it up. And we should be good to go. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the Art Deco paints. They're really good. They got some good. I mean, I'm not a pro painter by any means, but I've tried some other paints and cheap paints, and they were cheap and they were terrible. So, but with these, the pigment seems to be real smooth, so that's nice. And with that, they mix real well. You get a good amount of paint for your money. So that is a good deal. So for example, on the Art Deco, they come in, I got two versions. I got like the metallic version paints, and then I got the regular paints. So kind of like the white, the yellow, the umber that we're using. Those are the regular paints. And those are 2 fluid ounces or 60 milliliters. And then their metallic paints are 59 milliliters, which is still a pretty good buy. I don't feel bad using the Art Deco paints because I know I'm not spending a bunch of money. And then, yeah, if I need more paints, I can just get more Art Deco and I don't have to spend an arm and a leg. So, yeah, turns out pretty good. Now that I know how to make bone color, it's just another bonus. So yeah. And the cool thing is you can get on a, I guess you saw me do it, or if you didn't, what I ended up doing is just going online and asking a question, how do you make bone color? What colors do you need to make bone color? And it told me, so yeah, there it is. Boom, done. And the gold paint was just a spray can. So that turned out nice. It was quick and easy to do. Just that overhang there just makes it interesting. Alrighty. And then some other colors that I'm thinking about doing. Like I said, we'll do the rivets in like a red, and we'll cover that with a UV resin, make it look like a ruby or something on there. And then the spikes on here, I'm kind of wondering what to do with that. If I should just leave it gold and keep it simple, or should I make them like silver? That way we get a little bit more contrast. So we'll see. paint with the layer lines a little bit. I'm going to be careful I don't get paint in the ferrule. Trying to take better care of my brushes. So once I see it getting close, I'll stop and wash it. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. So I got to be careful. I want my brushes to last. Because when I first started painting, yeah, my brushes didn't last long at all because I didn't know how to take care of them. And then we'll let these dry. We can kind of do the other colors, I guess. Like the rivets, we can do those in red. Should be good. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to turn out as a final product. I mean, it already looks cool in gold, and the file was on MakerWorld, so if you look in the description box, you can find where the file's for free. And by 3Demon, I think it is. And yeah, be kind of cool. But yeah, mainly just gonna make this so decoration for that store, and then basically for me and my daughter, and I don't know. I print out stuff. It's kind of a limited because I live here in Korea, so it's not like the States. That's for sure. And you know, to sell a bunch of stuff or whatever. And there it is. And our brome. So that works out good. Good. Clean up the brush. And maybe we can, I think what I'll do is I'll put that UV resin on these little dots here, and that way it'll smooth it out. And then we'll go back and we'll put the Slaughter Red on there, and then we'll put another coat. After that dries, we'll put another UV resin on there and cure that, and then that way it'll be really shiny. So other ideas I had was taking like this stuff, this line here that goes around, the smaller line here, and make that bronze, and then do the spikes in silver. But again, I don't want to overdo it. I just want to, you know, this is going above and beyond what was on the site. So if I figure if I do these, the rivets in UV resin, do those in red, boom, do some more UV resin to make it look good, and then maybe I'll do these in silver. I think that'll be the, and then a wash over all this stuff. I think that'll be good to go. I think we'll be good. So let's clean this up a little bit. Make it a little bit easier. going to do cleanup. Get the majority of this stuff off of there. And this is a silicone little silicone. I guess it's like a bathroom soap holder thing or whatever. So it seems to work pretty well. I do have a Green Stuff World, what is it? Wet pad, whatever. The name escapes me right now, but I think that turns out pretty good. So I'll set this over here. And we're doing 3 of these. So let's go back to this one, and we'll use our Green Stuff World resin. And then we have a little UV light and see if we can make these things kind of round. Get rid of those layer lines. And once that's cured, it'll look pretty good. I did this on a model I painted of Warcraft, and I did the same thing, and it turned out it looked really good. So I just do that, do our little UV light there, so you can end up seeing. And that'll make that all nice and smooth. Which will turn out pretty good. And then with all that nice and smooth, when we do all these, and then we will use Army Painter like Dragon Red, or maybe even, I think the Dragon Red will be good, or we could do the Citadel Mephiston Red. Of course, that would have to be mixed up. I haven't used this stuff in a long time. But some type of high gloss red, or even this pure red. That would be a real good color for that too. So yeah, let us continue. Just a little bit of extra detail on here. I think we shall be good to go. But yeah, this UV resin stuff is the way to go. If you want something to look like a ruby or a diamond or have it really shiny, you can put it on your prints, and it just brings it up a whole new level. You know, because anybody can paint a red on there or colors. You got people that do some awesome shading with different reds, and then you get like the little tiny speck of white, so it looks like the glare from the light. But imagine doing that and then putting this on top of there, and it's clear. Man, it comes out awesome. So yeah, you can see how shiny that is already. Somebody coming over?
Yeah, the water filter changing.
Oh, okay. That's right. We get to here in Korea the water. You have water filters, and we got the water filter guy coming over to change the filters. So we pay about 9,000 won a month, which is like, I don't know, $4 or $5 a month. And he just changed the filters like every quarter or something like that. So we get some good water, good tasting water, which is important if you're making coffee. So yeah. So this will take a little bit of time. The majority of the work the 3D printer does. So thankfully the K2 Plus works well for me. And then spray paint, of course prime it. Then the gold spray paint, that doesn't take long. And then you saw how long it took to do the skull on here, which wasn't long. So that's kind of good. Oh, it's going to look nice. We're going to get some. And then once we get all that done, then we will end up, after it's all painted and everything, then what we'll end up doing is doing a varnish over it to seal in all the colors, which will be the bomb. And it'll work out good. Now that's after we do the wash. So when it's all said and done, we should be good to go. But I have noticed I got a little mark like right there. But I think I can hide that with some wash. So there is something to be said for maybe I should varnish this, the gold, do the gold, do this, and then varnish it. And then that way, if I get any, I won't scrape away any of the paint and get some blemish marks on here. So that might be something I need to do as well. But yeah, the resin will turn out pretty good. And then for the eye sockets here, the other thing I'm thinking about doing, obviously we'll use some dark wash, and we'll kind of blot that in, and we'll probably have to do a couple of coats to kind of darken in these areas, and of course the other areas as well, to try to make it really look sunken in. So I think that'll turn out good. Yes, that is going to look good. And then we can just do a quick little dot. Let's see. It's hard to. Oops. I think I got too much on there. Dang it. I put too much. No. We'll just go ahead and get everything. I'll go back and we'll do a little bit, but not too. Let's do a different one. We'll let that dry. It's going to turn out nice. And I've got a bigger UV light, so I'll probably put that in there and make sure that everything gets real nice and cured. And I got it, it's like a 200 watt LED UV light. Because this little light is, you know, it works, but it's kind of more for like miniatures. If you break something off, and then you can use the UV resin and you can put it on there, fix it, boom, you're good to go. But for continual use, like what we're doing, the bigger light would be better, which, yeah, that one's good, that one's good. And let's see. Let me see if I can get do that. So yeah, I think this is going to turn out really good. Definitely, if you're into Warhammer, this is going to be hot. Especially after we get the wash and get all that stuff going, it will turn out quite well. Looking forward to it. And I'll just kind of swing that around there. Get it quick. There we go. And this takes some time. You know, this takes longer than doing the spray painting. But when we get that red on there, and we'll do it in another video, because I got to do this with all of them, so I'm not going to keep streaming to get them all done like this. We'll just do this one, and then after I get all those done, we'll come back, we'll do the wash on another video, and we should be good to go. So yeah, should be good. And that's a good idea, is to put this around here to get those edges. And hit it with the light. Boom! Booyah! So yeah, thinking about getting a second printer. Looking at the Bambu P2S, looking at that as a possible printer. Of course, the Bambu Core 1L. Then again, maybe, I don't know, the Core 1 Plus. I got to look at the differences, or see what the Core 1 Plus is all about, because, yeah, maybe that would be worth doing. But again, Prusa and their camera and all of that stuff is just kind of like a half step behind. Whereas Bambu seems to have some really good work. Of course, then there's the Centauri Carbon 2, which is coming out. Every printer is going to have some firmware upgrades and issues as soon as they come to market, because they rush them out too quick. And so the firmware catches up in the fixes, just like every other company. But seems like, well, I think we get a little bit much. I think that'll be okay. Oops, we need light. I think it spilled a little bit on that one, but oh well. I think by the time we get that done and we get kind of dirty it up a little bit, we should be okay. But yeah, I definitely want a plug and play printer as a second printer. I would like to have a larger build area. I don't want to spend a ton of money, which should knock out Prusa to begin with. But the other thoughts of maybe getting another K2 Plus, I don't know. Or the K2 Pro, that's something that's possible. But I would really like to, I'm so tempted to get Bamboo. I'll have to look at the K2 Pro and see what the build area is on that. But I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, this Green Stuff World clear resin, UV resin, transparent. You could probably get like a, not from Green Stuff World, but you could get some clear resin and do the exact same thing and get like a 1 kilo bottle or something. And you could save a bunch of money. So you could do something like that. So yeah, I think we're doing good on this. And once we paint the red on here, got to be careful not to mark up or scratch the gold. We could paint the red on here, and maybe I'll do the, it's turning out nice, but I'll get the big UV resin, UV light on here, cure those really good, and then we'll come back, we'll do another video where we do the red, then we come back with the UV resin, we'll do the wash, or vice versa, whatever, and then varnish this thing up. Yeah, I told you the back of this one was ate up. This one's going to be mine. And then this one is going to be the one that I give to the store because it's got the nice back end on it. So that'll be the game store one. And then this one is a little bit nicer back. I think that one's going to go to my daughter. And if we do a giveaway, I'll do another one. So, yeah, I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good. So this one is good. So I'll set that aside. Guess we can continue on and just knock this stuff out. And we can get a little bit quicker on this. I think with our little tool here, we can spread it out. Kind of fill in those layer lines. Yay, we got water filter in. We got good tasting water. Which makes a hell of a difference when you're doing lattes and coffees and stuff like that. You wouldn't imagine. I was in the Army for 20 years and drank Folgers. It was like, And then I wasn't really into Starbucks, and it wasn't until I got to Korea that I started getting into espressos and lattes. And I loved it so much I ended up getting my own espresso machine. So, yeah. Water makes a big difference. Beans and water. Beans and water. So yeah. Let's see. We got Leo says hello. Very early Wednesday here in Denmark, a little past 8 in the morning. They look awesome. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it is about 4:15 right now in the afternoon on Wednesday. So yeah, I think these are going to turn.
Next Wednesday, you have 2 events.
I know, quiet. So yeah, it should turn out pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it so far. And it's hard to see with the resin being clear on if it gets in the areas that I want it to get in. So I think we're good. More light. Yeah, and the red on these will turn out really good. We'll probably let these dry overnight so get it all nice and cured and everything. And then, yeah, we'll come back. We'll do another video. Gotta do the video on the ultrasonic cutter. I was going to do that today, but I messed up my back, and so I was kind of like, eh. So, good excuse to not do it, but I need to do it. I just need to buckle down. I'll clean everything off the desk. Boom. Get the footage that I need. Do the tests, and we will rock that out. And see if ultrasonic cutters are worth their weight in gold. I don't know. They might not. From what I've seen, it looks like they work. It just kind of depends on, so it seems like it's a viable tool with the stuff that I've seen online and in other reviews and videos. It's a viable tool, but are you going to use it enough to justify the price? And do you think you'll get a good return on investment, I guess you could say. So, yeah, it kind of depends on how much money you want to spend. Because if money is no object, then yeah, it could be a pretty good thing. But if you're budget conscious, then that might be an obstacle. Or if you don't use it enough and you're budget conscious, do you want to spend 100, 200, maybe more dollars, on an ultrasonic cutter if you're not going to use it that much? Could you just get away with, I don't know, a Dremel? Dremel's going to cost you some money as well. So that's going to be expensive. Again, it comes down to the frequency of use. How often are you going to use it? So. I don't know, another tool in the toolbox. But if you're deep into cosplay, if you're doing a bunch of stuff with crafts, cutting, then an ultrasonic cutter might be for you. So we'll do the test and we'll see. We'll cut it with PLA. We'll cut some little bit of wood, some more PLA. We'll do some cutting on like resin bases to see if we can get see if it'll cut that. Of course, cardboard, some kind of fiber board, foam board or whatever. So we'll try that as well. We all want to win the lottery and buy a silly. Sadly, that's not my role. So looking for alternatives. I hear you. I totally get it. If we could all win the lottery, that would be cool. Like you said, the fact is, probably the majority of us won't win. And it'll be even harder for me because I don't play the lottery, so. If I get any money, it's going to have to be through an inheritance, which I'm not going to get. Or somebody just decides to give me a bunch of money. Some long lost uncle, rich uncle or something like that, you know, I don't know. I think I put a little bit too much on this. Oh well. We already did the good one, right? Yeah. So this will, no big deal on this. It's got like a low and a high setting. That's why I got to click it a couple times. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Oh, the other thing we got to do is here's our volcanic base that we need to paint. And that's going to be for our Warhammer Tyranid guy that we printed out. So we have that in the queue as well. And so yeah, fun stuff. So many things I want to do. And then I have squirrel moments where I see stuff like this and it's like, oh, that's a quick print. And it's like, oh, let's do another one. Let's do a third one. And I got to paint them. So yeah, I guess we could do the other one as well, since we're on a roll. So those are all done, looking pretty. I'll set that off to the side, and we'll get the ugly one. This one will be mine. Oh, we did these, so we're all done. Are we done? Oh no, this is the store one we got to do. So we got 2 out of 3 done. We're almost done. So one more. I definitely want to get one of them done. Because today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's the day I want to take this to the store. Tomorrow evening. So I guess I could let this dry until a few hours later tonight. I could do another video. I don't know, we'll see. Leo says, then again, many cool gadgets and methods in modeling come from necessity, right? People, oops, where'd the comments go? Come from necessity, people looking around the kitchen saying, I could probably use the blah, blah, blah. Did you get that, hon?
Yeah, I got it. Water filter changing, others you forgot the one equipment.
Oh, okay. Thought we had another delivery. Gonna get excited. I was like, oh, yay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You want me to order some chicken, honey?
Sure, that'd be great. Chicken,
Half
huh?
half and half?
Yeah, that was great. Which one did you like better?
I like both.
You like both? Okay, we can do both. Half and half. Those of you who don't know, Korea has the most awesome fried chicken.
아유 죄송합니다.
아니, 아니에요.
친해 보이는데.
가세요.
Yeah, Korea's got some awesome fried chicken. That is for sure. It is the bomb. Time to get out the door. Check in later. Have a nice day. All right, you too, Leo. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Awesome. But yeah, living in Korea is, got some. It's different than the U.S. You got some things you got to deal with, just like any place you live. But the Korean fried chicken, oh my gosh, that stuff is wonderful. It is the bomb. I think it dripped a little bit. Oh well. It's no big deal because we'll go back and we'll do some dark wash. We can hide some of those areas. Won't be too noticeable. Really need to dial in the printer a little bit more. I'm just using a generic profile for PLA. I need to look and see if it has the PLA matte PLA and has a profile for it. I noticed there's some little problems with that. Probably need to do a temperature tower, do some calibration, flow rate, all of that good stuff. So, just the things you need to do. a craving for Korean fried chicken earlier today, but most of the fried chicken stores, and they deliver, they don't open up until like 4 in the afternoon, but they stay up late. So I had to hanker in for at least the one place that we use, which is our favorite. We had to wait, and I was like, oh, I want it now. So we're gonna have that for dinner, which will be awesome. If I had my big UV light, this would go faster. Then I have to pull it out of the other room. I gotta try that one. Get an extension cord, plug it in. And we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if it'd be worth the. Okay, messed that up a little bit. Not too bad. Not too bad. That poured out a little bit. That cures quick, that's for sure. But it's not too bad because once we get this on there, then we'll put the red on there and then we'll coat it again with UV and we'll bring the big light out for that. And then we can kind of get more control when we do the painting on this. Not too worried about this. There we go. Yeah, this will look good. I think it will look good. Already looks pretty good. Yeah, we've been over here in Korea for just over 3 years. October, November, December, January. Man, 3 years, 4 months already. So it is gone quick. Some other upcoming things. We got a trip to Philippines. So we're going to take a couple weeks to go to the Philippines, and then shortly after that, we're going to a graduation in Hawaii, on Oahu. So that'll be just over a week, I think. So we'll do that. So it's going to be busy this, and then next thing you know, that's going to be May. So end of March, beginning of April is where we're going to Philippines. May, middle of May, I think we go to Hawaii. And then we come back and we should be buying an apartment, hopefully, buy rental property. So I can fund some of my hobbies and we can save some money. Have an income producing asset to fund my hobbies, which are many. Well, not really many. It's few, but they're expensive hobbies. So that'll be good. And we can save some money too. That's always good. So it'll be a busy year. It will definitely be a busy year for us. And I got to stop injuring myself because I injured my shoulder, so I took time off from that and lifting light on my right shoulder. That was getting better. I thought, I'll just lift light. Everything's going good. Then I was like, hey, I need to work on my legs. We'll go hard on the legs. Well, I did 490 on hack squats and I messed up my back a little bit, so I'm kind of nursing that right now. So, just getting old. I need to take it easy. Kind of know my limits, so apparently 490 is a little bit too much for me on hack squat. 440 was good. But I jumped 50 pounds. I think that was the problem. I just went too big of an increase from 440, added 50 pounds to do 490, and that was like, but it wasn't bad because I did the rest of my workout. I was good to go, and then came home. I was fine, and then the next day I felt it in my back, and I was like, oh no, that's not good. Not good at all. This is a panel liner. So I ended up getting some Tamiya panel line accent color, and then I saw this little thing. Which is like a panel liner pen. It's almost like a fountain pen. So we'll see how this goes. I'll try this out on some minis or whatever and see if this thing works. But yeah, it looks like a fountain pen. Holy crow. Get pretty precise with that. But that will be on another video. Okay, so there you have it. We have our 3 Warhammer Purity crosses. We did the skulls. We'll let all this dry a little bit, and then later on tonight I'll go back, at least for the one, this one. I'll probably come back later tonight, my time, and we'll do the wash on this. We'll do the red, and then we'll let that dry, and then we'll just do the more UV resin to make that look like really clear. And yeah, the wash, then varnish, and we should be good to go. So yeah. So I think that's going to be it for now. I'm going to take a little break because our chicken should be coming in pretty soon. So yeah, that's it. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. And stand by because we're going to be doing, like I said, the volcano base. We'll be doing this Tyranid guy that will go on said volcano base. So we're going to try to do some glowing action, red coming up through his loins. So we'll have that, and that should look pretty cool. And then we've got other stuff. Like I said, we've got the review. And I guess I can show you the box. So we've got Hozo Neil Block Sanding Block series. So it's kind of like a sanding block thing. So do sanding, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. They sent that to me. And then we also have the, what's this one? Oh yeah, the Hozo ultrasonic cutter, the Neo Blade. So that is definitely, that's going to be a thing that we're going to review. So yeah, that'll be pretty neat. That looks cool. It's got different blades and all that stuff. Got the charger, got some different blades. I'll just show the whole thing. So we got different blades and everything, charger. So yeah, it's pretty decked out system. So, and then they even sent a cutting mat as well. So small kind of cutting mat, but cutting mat nonetheless. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So let's throw a little bit. I'm gonna clean this brush, put some soap on it. But yeah, be sure to like the videos, subscribe to the channel. That would be the best thing that you could do for me to help me out. It's another one of my hobby things as I'm retired here in Korea. Try to build the channel and yeah, just have some fun. And if I get companies that send me stuff and I can do honest reviews, that'll be cool. If not, I'll continue doing the channel and still doing cool stuff with 3D printing, painting, miniatures. Eventually I want to do cosplay stuff, so that is something we want to do as well. Alrighty, so there it is. I think that turned out pretty good. So we'll go back to the desk and let's see what we end up having here. Okay, boom, booyah. And we don't have anything on the printer thing. Yeah, that is all, nothing printing. Imagine that. That is quite the thing. So I think what we can end up doing is we can get rid of that window there and there. And we will finish up. So boom, there it is. We'll continue on doing the Warhammer Purity Crosses, which look really cool. If you want to find where you can get that file, it's on Cult's page, Cult's 3D. Link is in the description box, so you can do that. Check that out. And the obligatory outro page that we end up having here. Boom. If you want to contact me, there's my email address. If you just want to say hi, shoot me some pictures of stuff that you're doing, or if you know of information, videos, tips, and tricks to make me a better printer, painter, person, I'm all for it. So you can contact me. Usually I reply in about 1 or 2 days, but I always respond to my email. A bunch of people over here bought me coffee, link in the description box. But like I said, the very best thing that you can do right now, smash that like button, hit subscribe, ring that bell so that you can be aware of upcoming videos and future streams like this. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. And again, the likes and subscribes would do something. I'm not going to be a huge YouTube personality. I'm just, whether I'm big or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to continue doing this stuff because I'm retired and I'm enjoying life. And you should find something and do something that you enjoy. Don't put it off like me. I put off doing hobby fun stuff for decades. And it wasn't until I got into my late 50s that I got into doing all this stuff. And it has been great. I've really been enjoying it. And I want you to get some enjoyment out of your life. So don't put it off like I did. Find something you love. Do it. Chase after it. Enjoy it. Yeah. So mmany years wasted. So anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. See ya.